真佛宗美国彩虹雷藏寺除盖藏菩萨护摩大法会开始，与会大众请起立，恭迎真佛宗创办人无上法王根本传承上师圣尊莲生活佛师母莲香上师仁波切及上师团，与会大众虔诚合掌，唱诵莲花童子心咒。顶礼坛城，做观想大礼拜，一拜根本传承上师及十方三世一切诸佛。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，二拜诸菩萨。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，三拜诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，四平等于其手。请主持人敬献哈达，以表最崇高敬意。 让我们以最热烈的掌声，感恩根本传承上师圣尊莲生活佛的赐福。恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。
This is the Homa fire offering ceremony held here at the Rainbow Temple in North Bend, Washington. His Holiness just accepted the offering of Hatha from the primary supplicants for this Homa. We're inviting Sumo, all the Dharma masters, venerables, our distinguished guests and all participants to please take the seats. And now we are inviting His Holiness to bless the prayers of the primary supplicants for this Homa.
首先，让我们以最热烈的掌声，感恩根本传承上师圣尊莲生活佛主坛除盖藏菩萨护摩大法会，也让我们以最热烈的掌声欢迎师父。
Offer our utmost gratitude to our lineage Guru for presiding over this Vishkambhin Homa fire offering ceremony. We would also like to extend our warmest welcome to all participating masters, venerables, distinguished guests, and all participants. Now the offering of Hatha. Please join your palms with reverence, and we would like to invite Vajra Master Lian-Sheng to represent all of us. Visualize true Buddha lineage. Namo Vairukana Buddha, Namo Buddha Lukana, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Padma Kumara, Namo Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. Visualize Grandmaster and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light to bless us. Recite the Guru mantra, Padma Kumara mantra 7 times.
Om Guru Lian-Sheng Siddhi Hom. 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 做四无量观，观想右手边有
Perform the visualization of the 4 immeasurables, ancestors and relatives from the father's side on your right, from the mother's side on your left, friends and teachers behind you, and enemies and karmic creditors in front of you, and all sentient beings together practicing the Buddha Dharma and ultimately attaining Buddhahood. Awakening Mudra. Recite purification mantras and the Earth Deity mantra.
Om Syodori Syodori Syomori Syomori Soha. Om Vajranatang He He Hom. Namo Samanto Motoran Om Dodo Dodo Dewei Soha.
Recite invocation mantra.
Om Ah Hom Soha. Om Ah Hom Soha.
We sincerely invoke our lineage root Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. Namo White Maha Padma Kumara. Namo Lotus Light Self-Mastery Buddha. Namo True Buddha School Lineage Gurus. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Vishkambhin Bodhisattva. The main deity of Homa, Namo Vishkambhin Bodhisattva. The main deity of Homa, Namo Vishkambhin Bodhisattva. Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jetpan. Namo 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Namo True Buddha School 8 Primary Deities. Namo Yamantaka. Namo Akalanata. Namo 4 Heavenly Kings. Namo Sma Bodhisattva. Namo Rainbow Temples, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakanis, and divinities. All the deities enshrined at the True Buddha Tantric Quarter, at the Seattle Lechang Temple, and at the abode at the Southern Mountain. Rainbow Temples, Mountain God, Earth God, Plant God, Wind God, Water God, Heavenly Fire God, Dragon Gods, and all divinities and protectors, as well as the city gods, to please radiate light and bless this Homa. Great homage using visualization for student Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize with prostration on the ground.
回天
Release
心
the
本也
mudra.
二拜
Second to all bodhisattvas.
Hom 观想
Visualize with prostration on the
回天
ground.
心
Release the mudra.
三拜诸佛
Third to
法
all
真干
Hedukas and Dhamma protectors.
Hom 观想顶礼
Visualize with prostration on the
回天
ground.
心
Release the mudra.
四平等
Fourth half bow.
大曼达供养
Great mandala offering. Form the offering mudra. Visualize transformations of the offerings to become innumerable to fill the whole space.
上供根本传承上师
Make the offering above to the lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus, the main deity of Homa, Namo, Vishkambhin, Bodhisattva, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakanis, and divinities, and below to all sentient beings. Recite the offering verse and mantra.
化诸珍宝供养佛，种种珍奇诸功德，消业处处正菩提。Om Sawa Tathagata Yitambu Gurunana Mienzana Kandiriye Dayami 做四皈依观想，观想根本传承上。
Fourfold refuge, visualize our lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus, Buddha jewel, Dhamma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form bright white light to empower us. Recite the mantra.
Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye, Namo Gurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye, Namo Gurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye. 做披甲护身，手结金刚
Armor protection, form Vajaklaps mudra, recite Vajrapani mantra 7 times.
Om Bodhilanjali, Om Bodhilanjali, Om Bodhilanjali, Om Bodhilanjali, Om Bodhilanjali, Om Bodhilanjali, Om Bodhilanjali. 恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛做诸名
Inviting His Holiness to perform blessings with mala. Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng to set ceremonial demarcation to bless the registration forms, Homa cards, and all the offerings with Vajra bell and scepter.
请大家起立，恭敬合掌。恭请法王圣尊
Please stand up and join your palms with reverence. And together we are inviting His Holiness to perform the ritual of opening the Homa fire pit, to set ceremonial demarcation around it, to lit the Homa fire, to make all the offerings, and to perform mudra transformations for purifications, blessings, magnetization, subjugation, and pardo deliverance. The assembly will be reciting the heart mantra of the main deity of Homa today, Namo Vishkambhin Bodhisattva.
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。
Inviting His Holiness to ascend to the Dharma throne. Inviting Sumo Vajramaster Lian-Sheng, all the Dharma masters, all the venerables, our distinguished guests, and all participants to please be seated.
Masala
He said that mantras of eight principal deities and incan Buddha Amitabha.
Om Vanamo Lintoling Soha. Om Ha 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 Wei Samoye Soha. Om Jali Juli Junti Soha. Om Jambala Chalang Chalaye Soha. Om Ah Hom Beta Guru Pema Siti Hom Se. Om Ah Hom Guru Pe Ah Sasamaha Lian-Sheng Siti Hom. Deata Om Bekataya Bekataya Maha Bekataya Laja Samo Katahe Soha. 南无36万亿119,500同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无36万亿119,500同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无36万亿119,500同名同号阿弥陀佛。
Recite the supplication to the Buddha to stay in the Saha world. I pay homage and supplicate His Holiness the virtuous and marvelous Tantrika, all Buddhas of the 10 directions of the Buddha lands as numerous as grains of sand, all Bodhisattvas here full of compassion toward all beings, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, protectors of Dharma. The nights are long, the 3 poisons are proliferating. My body and soul are stricken, tumbling in the misery of perpetual rebirth. With great compassion, His Holiness came to this world to salvage the deluded ones. 3 jewels emanate wondrous light to provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings, human and devas, rely on His Vajra body for the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments. We disciples of Buddha plead they stay in the Saha world to turn the Dharma wheel to benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. My dedication, may all uphold the Buddha, ascend to the realm of utmost bliss, reaping fourfold generosity from above, aiding those in the 3 realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death. Like the Buddha, may we liberate all. To Buddha's school disciples, wholeheartedly pray to the symbol of the bright, clear radiance, the main deity of Homa, Namo Vishkambhin Bodhisattva, to protect our lineage root Guru, to be able to subjugate all karmic transgressions, afflictions, and calamities. May he be endowed with good health, longevity, to live with great self-mastery to turn the Dharma wheel. Let's pay homage to the 8 great Bodhisattvas. Namo Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Namo Manjushri Bodhisattva. Namo Samantabhadra Bodhisattva. Namo Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Namo Maitreya Bodhisattva. Namo Akasagarbha Bodhisattva. Namo Vajrapani Bodhisattva. Namo Vishkambhin Bodhisattva. Homage to Sarvanivarana-Vishkambhin Bodhisattva. We pray wholeheartedly to Vishkambhi Bodhisattva, the Vajra who eradicate afflictions and negative emotions, to please protect all spiritual cultivators. Please guide the Bartu spirits to be reborn into the pure Buddha land. Please eradicate all obscuration, hindrances, afflictions, self-attachments, attachments to self and ego. And please bless us to eradicate our karmic sicknesses. Please bestow good health, all wishes fulfilled, calamities transformed to auspiciousness, and strong commitment in spiritual cultivation. May we be endowed with ample resources and complete wisdom and perfect harmony. We pray to Vishkambhin Bodhisattva of the Vajradhatu Mandala at the Vishkambhin court, the great Bodhisattva, to please bless all participants. So that all spiritual cultivators can emit their bright radiance and all afflictions can be completely eradicated, all obscurations completely eradicated, all karmic transgressions completely eradicated. May all greed, anger, delusion, doubt, pride can be eradicated to become clear light radiance. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to the main deity of Homa, Vishkambhin Bodhisattva, the Vajra who eradicate afflictions. Please bless us so that we can eradicate all afflictions, obscurations, karmic transgressions, attachments to self, so that we can have attainments. May all be auspicious. Homage to the main deity of Homa, Vishkambhin Bodhisattva, the Vajra who eradicates afflictions, and gods in heavens, gods on earth, may be far from all calamities, may all calamities abandon us, let all disasters turn into dust. May all of our prayers be granted. May all obstructions and hindrances disappear, enemies and enmities disappear. We say 100 syllable mantra 3 times.
Om Pecha Sato Samaya Malupanaya Pecha Sato Tenu Padicha Jojo Me Pawa Soto Kayo Me Pawa Sopo Kayo Me Pawa Anurato Me Pawa Shawa Siti Mempuraya Cha Shawa Kama Sutta Me Chitamu Sini Ren Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pecha Mami Mancha Pecha Pawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pei Om Pecha Sato Samaya Malupanaya Pecha Sato Teru Padicha Jojo Me Pawa Soto Kayo Me Pawa Sopo Kayo Me Pawa Anurato Me Pawa Shawa Siti Mempuraya Cha Shawa Kama Sutta Me Chitamu Siniyan Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pecha Mami Mancha Pecha Pawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pei Om Pecha Sato Samaya Malupanaya Pecha Sato Tenu Padicha Jojo Me Pawa Soto Kayo Me Pawa Sopo Kayo Me Pawa Anurato Me Pawa Shawa Siti Mempuraya Cha Shawa Kama Sutta Me Chitamu Siniyan Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pecha Mami Mancha Pecha Pawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pei 做观想大礼拜，一拜根本传承上师及
Okay, Homa
十方
choosing
三世一
recitation
切
for
诸
Sudut
佛
Guru and all
嗡
Buddhas.
啊 Hom 观想顶礼，
Visualize for position on the ground.
回天心
Release
善
the
意，
mudra. Second to all bodhisattvas.
二拜诸菩萨，嗡啊 Hom 观想顶礼，
Visualize for
回天心
position on the
善
ground.
意，
Release the
三拜
mudra.
诸护法
Third to all
金
Hedukas
刚
and Dharma
嗡啊
protectors.
Hom 观想顶礼，
Visualize for position on the
回
ground.
天
Release
心
the
善意，
mudra.
四
Fourth half
平
bow.
等一起手，念圆满咒。 Om Bring Om Bring Om Bring Om Mani Padme Hum。让我们以最热烈的掌声感谢法王圣尊莲生活佛，主坛除盖藏菩萨护摩
Give
大
the
法
greatest
会。
round of applause to our lineage Guru for
请大
presiding
家
over
恭
this
敬合
Vishkambhin
掌，恭请
Bodhisattva
法
Homa
王圣
fire
尊
offering
莲生
ceremony.
活佛做
Let us
宝贵
now
的法语开示。
join our palms with the Guru's reference, and together we are inviting His Holiness to bestow the precious Dharma teaching. First, let's pay homage to the lineage Gurus. Homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of Homa today, at the Vajradhatu Mandala, at the Vishkambhin court, the main deity there, the Vishkambhin Bodhisattva, the Vajra who eradicate afflictions. Simu, Tutan Siddhi, Tanzan Gatso, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. And our participating VIPs today are Taipei Rep to Sweden and Norway, Ambassador Tongzhou Liao's wife, Dharma Sister Judy.
中国中委会会计师特丽莎师姐 and husband. 生活波业障执行长
Accountant to Jupiter Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa and her husband.
师姐
And the CEO of the tbboye.org, Dharma Sister
台湾雷藏寺
Jennifer
公
Zhou,
关主任王之祖师兄
and the PR Director of the Taiwan Lizang Temple,
周
Dharma
恒
Brother
医
Fermi
师
Wang, Dr. Zhou Heng,
张新立医师
and Dr. Zhang Xinli,
苏国英师姐
and Dharma Sister Su Guoyin.
大家午安，大家好。
Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
大家午安，大家好。你好，大家好。今天现在通知大家。
Today, I would
下个
like
礼拜
to
天
announce for next
2
Sunday,
月16号 2月
on
16号
February
下
16th,
午3点 PM
Sunday at 3 p.m.,
刚手菩萨
there will be
护摩
Vajrapani
法会，
Bodhisattva Homa fire offering ceremony. Vajrapani or Vajrahan Bodhisattva.
大家都知道金刚手菩萨
We all know that
是
Vajrapani
在
Bodhisattva,
讲金刚手菩萨的时候，
when the Buddha spoke on the Vajrapani Bodhisattva, he appeared behind the Buddha.
释迦牟尼佛曾经这样子讲：
And Sakyamuni Buddha
你
once
只
said,
要是修行的正行正念的行为，
if you are a spiritual cultivator with the
金
correct
刚手菩萨，
or the
真
right
金刚手菩萨。
thought and right action, then
那金
you
刚
would
手
have
菩萨
Vajrapani Bodhisattva
也
behind
是
you.
最强最有力的
And Vajrapani Bodhisattva is the strongest and greatest protector,
那也就是三根
the
本当中
most
其中
powerful
一个
protector.
一个根本。
And he's one of the three reliances of Tantrayana, or three roots. Oh no, it's not three roots, it's
那
three
应该叫三
reliances.
孤主所谓三孤主，就是说
And the
我们
three
依这个
tantric reliances are
智慧的
we rely
释利菩萨，另外就是
for wisdom, we rely on Manjushri Bodhisattva.
另外就是
And
金刚手菩萨。
there's Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva and Vajrapani Bodhisattva. They are the
这
three
身非常重要
tantric reliances.
大法力的，
And this deity is extremely important. He has
不
great
用
Dharma
报名
power.
主起
It's okay if you don't register to be the
不
primary
用报名
supplicant.
主起呢，你就少来一个孤主。
Then you would be lacking
你有
one reliance.
慈悲，有智慧，
You may
但是
have
没有
compassion and wisdom,
啊
but without
没有
Dharma
法
power
也没有护法帮助
and
你，
no protector
它
helping
是
you,
代表法力。
because Vajrapani Bodhisattva
所以你做
represents
任何一个
Dharma
事业
power.
都是要有
Whatever
法力
work that you do, you
有
need
智
the
慧
Dharma power. With only
方
wisdom,
单单只有智慧的话，
say if you only have wisdom, wisdom is intangible.
那么单单有慈悲跟智慧
And with only compassion
已经很不错了。但是
and
你要
with
做
wisdom, they're already pretty good. But in order to perform a Buddha work or Dharma work, you need Dharma power. First of all, to protect yourself, and secondly, you can propagate the Buddha Dharma using your Dharma power. So this is very important. So being primary supplicant for this deity is still extremely important. So in Tantrayana, they are the three reliances. Today we perform the Homa of Sarvanivarana-Vishkambhin Bodhisattva. He also has great Dharma power. He's one of the Buddhist 8 great Bodhisattvas. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Manjushri Bodhisattva, Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, Maitreya Bodhisattva, Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, Vajrapani Bodhisattva, and Vishkambhin Bodhisattva. The origin of these 8 great Bodhisattvas were these 8 Bodhisattvas were cultivating spiritually at the same period and had great attainments. So they are referred as the 8 great Bodhisattvas. And his secret name is the Vajra who eliminate afflictions, or away from afflictions. Vajra who is apart from the afflictions. By practicing this deity, we can abandon all of our afflictions. I remember my guru told me, we have afflictions because of our ignorance. And what is the greatest ignorance? The worst ignorance is that whatever that is tangible in this world, you think only the physical world exists, and the world that you cannot see does not exist. So all that you could see is everything in this Saha world. You don't know that there are other worlds. So my guru said, this is the worst kind of ignorance. So if you are attached to this kind of ignorance, then you would never abandon this Saha world. You will not be able to renunciate or renounce the Saha world or the rebirth cycle. That's what the Guru said. So if you attach to the Saha world, actually there are still many worlds that we cannot see, many realms that we cannot see. Now we still have many people wearing masks. Mostly are the monastic people, the lay people. Not very many lay people wear the face mask, so the Sangha members are more afraid of death. There are many of them wearing masks over here.
这个你看不见的世界，像细菌的世界，你就看不到。
The world that you cannot see is like the world of the bacteria and virus.
所以真的要消除这个细菌，消除这些病毒，真的是。
So to eradicate the bacteria and virus is very difficult.
把它消除掉。
So enemies that you can see, you can still try to eliminate. But things that you cannot see, all you can do is to hide from it.
把门窗全部关起来。
Close all the doors and windows, and you isolate yourself inside. Quarantine yourself. And then when you feel that the germs are subsiding, then you get out. So that's what the situation is now. So with the virus, you isolate yourself, and the virus are outside floating around, and they don't have place to be parasite of, and then they die. That's what they're trying to do now, right? So closing off some cities, some counties, some buildings, is to leave the virus out until all the virus die. Then the problem is solved. But the virus is intangible. It's invisible. So when they don't have any place to be a parasite of, then they would die. So all we can do is, like when we cannot see the bacteria and the virus, all we can do is to quarantine ourselves. There are many things, intangible worlds that we cannot see, like the ghost. You cannot see, but they do exist. A few nights ago, I went to my own living room. In our living room, we have 2 peacocks made of iron. Did you place them there? Yeah. At the back door, next to a huge planter pot. And one of these peacocks moved position to the back door. It's almost opening the door to leave. As I was turning off the lights, and when I was switching off the light, I told the peacock, you should stay where you were. Why are you coming here to the door? Go back. And Simu heard it and said, are you trying to scare me? Whom are you talking to? I was talking to the peacock. I told the intangible, you should move back by yourself. How could you leave by yourself? And the other peacock is staying. So I said, there are many things that move around in my house. It was at a certain place and it moved by itself. So they do exist. I've said it. I went to our laundry room. We have two of them. One is on the tiger side that's being used often. And on my side, next to my bedroom, there's another laundry room that's never used before. But I used it to change water for offering to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And behind the altar, it was the laundry room or the washing machine. So every time I entered into the laundry room to change the water offering, all the cabinets inside that room would tremble. I didn't touch it, but it would they all shake or vibrate. Many ghosts love to hide in there. And when I get in, I didn't snap your fingers, which is to tell them that I'm coming. You should move aside. If I snap your fingers first, then they would move away. But without snapping my fingers, I just walked in, and they immediately had to run away to under the sink, to the washing machine, to the cabinets. So it was quite a mess. So it all vibrated. I'm used to it. I will not bother them. Or when I walk to the exercise room, and after waking up, I want to check myself in the mirror. Then I would walk into my exercise room. There are mirrors all around. Mirrors. And I look at myself in the mirror, and as soon the bicycles, the massage chair, and the weights, and all the equipments would make sound. It would be very scary. Like if it's for Hui Qin, wow, so loud, and her legs would weaken, and then she would fall to the ground like a treasure. You're not using the equipment. You're just looking at yourself in the mirror. And then the massage chair, the equipments would make sound. And I turned my head and told them, be quiet. Just be obedient. If you're nice and obedient, then I'll give you a lollipop. I am used to this kind of things at home. So they do exist. So don't just think that there's the human world only. When I study the Dharma, I knew that they do exist. When I joined my palms, the intangibles came and they lift my leg, one of my legs. And when I found it's too long, I was standing on one leg. Cannot be for too long, right? But they lifted for a long time and I wanted to put my leg down, but I could not. The leg was being held up. I couldn't put it down. So at that time, I really felt in my heart that this kind of intangible power does exist. And they told me that from now on you have to believe there are many intangibles. So in our Buddhist Sutra, it was written that when Sakyamuni Buddha was giving a teaching, the ones who came listening, some of them were humans and non-humans. It's often written in the sutra. And when the Buddha was giving Dharma teaching, he went that the audience were the devas, devis, the heavenly beings, and the heavenly dragons, and also humans and non-humans. So they do exist. Don't think that because you cannot see, they do not exist. So the thing that left the deepest impression on me is when they lift my leg, I could not put it down. When they lifted my leg. So this is quite mystical. So like our souls, they do exist. And the realms of gods, of the heavenly realms, and the fourth sagely realms. And these are not superstitious. So my guru told me that the greatest superstition or delusion is you just think whatever that you can see, only what you can see can exist. And then things that you cannot see do not exist. That would be the worst kind of ignorance. So the most important purpose of our spiritual cultivation is to break apart our ignorance, to destroy our ignorance. And we also need to eliminate our own habitual tendencies, such as greed, anger, delusion, doubt, and pride. These are habitual tendencies of human beings. And you also need to destroy our ego, our attachment to self. That Buddhist philosophy is about the philosophy of no self, that all sentient beings are equal. As a bodhisattva, we want to benefit sentient beings, not benefiting yourself. If you benefit yourself, then that's a selfish mind. If you just benefit yourself and not the other beings, then please don't make the bodhisattva vow, because a bodhisattva is not like that. So the bodhisattva vows or precepts are to help sentient beings, to help them,
还要教给他
to
们
teach
实修，
them the right Dharma, to teach them how
让他们
to
身口意清净，
practice and to
他们烦恼
purify their
才能
body,
除
speech,
掉
and mind, and to eliminate their
所以是利
afflictions.
他为主的，就是菩萨。
So, the
是
ones
利
who
自
stress
己的，
the
就是
benefiting
阿罗汉，
others are the
自己
bodhisattvas.
得到成就，
But those who benefit themselves
跟自己
and
得到
have
成就，
attainments,
就是
then
阿罗
that's
汉。
arhats.
再来利他的，就是变成菩萨。
And then when you benefit others, you
很
become a
简单的讲，
bodhisattva.
就是这样子。你只修你自
That's
己，
what
不管众生怎么
simply
样，
said.
通通都不管。
If you only practice yourself and you don't care about other sentient
所以
beings
那
at
个就是
all,
阿罗汉，阿罗汉
then
跟菩
that's
萨
the
不一
realm
样。
of Alohan, of
那
Arhat.
么菩萨呢，他是以利他为主，利他为
And the
主。
bodhisattva is
像
primarily
我们
to
讲的
benefit
这个
others.
莲华生大士，他也当然是利益众生的。
Like Guru Padmasambhava, of course, is to benefit
一
sentient
心求
beings,
感，
primarily
也是
to
利他为
benefit
主，也是
others,
帮助众生。
and Ishichogar
帮助
too,
众生。所以作为一个菩萨，
to
不会
help
残害
sentient
众生，
beings.
不会
So
害众
as a
生，
bodhisattva, you will
是利
never
益众
harm
生。
or hurt
有时
other
候
sentient
连
beings.
自己本身
Instead,
的
you
自身的
benefit
问题都可
sentient
以牺
beings.
牲掉，
Sometimes you can even forsake your own
这个是
life. This is
那
important.
么烦恼呢？为什么有烦恼呢？
Why
你
do we
自私
have
就会有烦恼。
afflictions? Because you're selfish, that's why you have afflictions.
这求不得，你就产生烦恼；
When you don't get what you
得不
want,
到，你
then
也
you
产生
become
烦恼。
afflicted.
一切烦恼，众生的烦恼。
When you don't
那么除
get
盖
what
障
you
菩
wish
萨最
for,
主要的
you get
就是消
afflicted.
除离
And Vishkambhin
离恼
Bodhisattva
离恼离
is
开
the
烦恼。
Vajra who
为什
abandoned
么会有烦恼？
afflictions.
因
Why
为
do
你
we
有
have
执着，
afflictions? Because you have
你有我
attachments.
执，
You have attachment to self.
你有烦恼，
You have
就会产生
afflictions.
烦恼。
Then naturally you
为自
become
己只为
afflicted.
自己，不为别人想，
You only think for yourself and not for others. Then of course you would be afflicted.
你如
You
果
would
是只为
feel
他人想，
troubled. If you only think for
那个
others,
牺牲自己都可以，
then it's okay even if you sacrifice
那
yourself.
就没有烦恼。
That bodhisattvas don't have any affliction.
除盖障菩萨，
Because this bodhisattva is called the Vishkambhin Bodhisattva,
烦恼、
the bodhisattva who
执、
eliminates
无明、
afflictions, attachments to self, ignorance, the
就
five
是除
poisons,
盖障菩萨，
and obscurations.
开烦恼就可以。
So that's the bodhisattva who eliminate
像
hindrances and obscurations.
这个
Vishkambhin
今天呢，
Bodhisattva.
我看到桌子上少了一样东西，
Like for Grandmaster today, I notice one thing is missing on my desk.
啊，
What is it?
你看少什么东西？会不会藏在后面？
Could it be at the back?
不可能吧？你桌上应该准备什么东西呢？
What should be prepared here? Who's in charge of this?
啊？对了。哎，你把水藏起来，害我在找不到。
You're hiding my water and I couldn't find it.
哦，差一点起烦恼心。怎么这桌子上没有水啊？
I almost felt troubled
哦，是保温的。
because there are no water on the desk. Now I know it's behind because it's being kept warm.
这个事实上哦， 很多的事情，在我们这个娑婆世界里面，人因为有烦恼。
In this world, human beings, because they have afflictions,
才会那个。如果你修行到很高的境界，修行到了很。
If your spiritual cultivation is very high, if you have reached a very high realm, then you will not be afflicted.
像有些弟子这样，师尊，我看你今天呢，心情不太好。
Like some disciples would say, Grandmaster, you're in a bad mood today. This statement, for Grandmaster, should not be said. This kind of statement should not be said to Grandmaster. I have written that you need to, every day, living for the day, you should be happy for the day. Of course, sometimes I am worried about the sentient beings and other people. That is not affliction. It's just worrying about other people, about all people. Or like some people say, you're in a bad mood today. Then in Japanese, it's kimochi warui, is in a bad mood. But instead, every day I would say kimochi ii, which means a good mood. So, when you're in a bad mood, kimochi warui in Japanese, that means you're being worried, troubled. Every day we say this, I stay. 사랑해. Kimochi-i. And what does kimochi-i mean? Is that you feel good. And you're in a very good mood. So of course, Grandmaster, never. Even if I have affliction, it's only for a split of a second. Our principal used to say it with a different intonation, so it became his nickname, Ihatsu. Like just for a split of a second, I would feel that, oh, it's so hard to salvage sentient beings. But quickly, it's overcome. Because Grandmaster heart is just about caring for sentient beings. When you come, oh, please come in and have a seat. But if you leave, then okay, please have a good leave. It's okay whether you come or not, it's up to you. So just very natural. So everything is at will. So the mind is like the white cloud, very carefree, and the mind is like the water, and just flowing anywhere. Everything is natural. And every day I would say kimochi-i. So there is no such thing that Grandmaster is in a bad mood. Because anything that happens is just for a split of a second. Nothing is it's very miserable or suffering or nothing that would make me very afflicted. So once you reach this kind of realm, then you have reached a realm that you have abandoned the afflictions of the world. There was once a disciple that told Grandmaster, Grandmaster, I'm sorry. I denigrated you so badly with even the worst words. But I said, oh, it's okay. I want to repent. And I said, it's okay. Don't worry. The more you disparage me or denigrate me, it's the happier I'm. Well, I cannot say that because I didn't hear it. I'm not affected. Doesn't matter how evil or vicious you said. I'm not affected at all. Like Yao Zong burned my photo onto the ceramic of his toilet. And then he would pee and poop onto that photo. So his pee would be on my face on that photo. So in his urinal and his toilet. So he used his pee and poop to slap on my photo. So he used that so that I drink pee and eat poop every day. And he even uploaded on the internet the photo of the urinal and toilet. So he wanted to show that he's insulting me. But I'm okay. I'm still happy. I didn't drink any pee and didn't eat any poop. So that's how it is. Doesn't matter. So you need to learn about endurance and patience, which is one of the 6 perfections of bodhisattvahood. But I don't need to endure or tolerate. There's no need because that's quite a hardship. Just be natural. Thank you. So you need to learn from Vishkambhin Bodhisattva to abandon the afflictions, then let everything be natural. When good things come, there's no need to be overjoyed. In the favorable conditions, shouldn't be too overjoyed, but in the adversity, there's no need to be so upset either. So this is abandoning afflictions. So spiritual cultivators should learn the spirit of this, which is where Vishkambhin Bodhisattva is greatest at. Let's talk a little bit about Lamdre. protecting oneself against the hindrances to fall into the wisdom side. So hindrances by who? And falling into the faithful actions, falling into spiritual experiences, and what hindrances, when hindrances, hindrances on what, protection on what, toward the outside demon and inner demon. And the inner demon. These are all the titles. And one by one it will be explained. So below is a summary for those who fall into the wisdom side, as in the verse, up to the celestial demon use the four spiritual awakening as protections. In this there are 5 things: hindrances by who, what hindrances, when, and hindrances on what, and protection on what. The most important thing is up to the celestial demon, use the 4 awakening as the protection. What is this celestial demon? That's actually Mahaswara heaven, the celestial. That you have reached a very high realm in your spiritual cultivation. That the 6 heavens of the realm of desire is the Mahaswara heaven, and we refer to him as the Mara, or celestial demon. Like Ishichogal, when she was practicing in the cave, because her bright radiance was too strong, because through her spiritual cultivation she had light on her body, and because her light was too bright, all the gods and the ghosts around her were bothered by the bright light, so they felt obstructed by it. So they became Mara to attack Ishichogal. And Ishichogal also used the 4 spiritual awakening as her protection. And what are the 4 spiritual awakenings? Many people told Grandmaster when they are meditating, when they were meditating, they felt like they were falling into a very deep hole, kept falling, and then they got really scary. Or when you were meditating, you felt that you were flying into the sky, and you were flying higher and higher, and you started to be terrified. So those were considered a demonic realm. Actually, it's fine, no big deal. When you exit from your meditation, you're still sitting wherever you sat. You did not move from that spot. One time when I was meditating, something happened. This phenomena would make you feel terrified. You know the machine, the grinder, the meat grinder machine. So you put the meat into it and then it becomes ground meat. There was one time when I was meditating, this phenomena occurred. I felt that my body moved to the front of the meat grinder machine and about to enter it. Then I would become ground meat without even bones. Don't you feel scared at that moment? You have forgotten about yourself, and you felt that you were already at the mouth of that meat grinder. But about this spiritual awakening is all of a sudden you know that you are meditating, that any influences, any surroundings, nothing would affect you. Even when the meat grinder is right in front of your eye, it's okay. You won't be affected. There's another phenomena. In France, there were many kings and queens that were being guillotined. So they have a very huge knife, and then you put the head there, and then they let the blade, the really heavy blade, fall down to behead the people, the guillotine. And one time when I was meditating, my head is right there, and I saw that very sharp, heavy blade that was about to fall. Wouldn't you be terrified? But if you awaken, you know that this was just an illusion. It was just illusory. Even in your visualization, you can generate some inner demons. The Garuda, the golden winged bird, and all the gods and the ghosts, the wandering, and may they be sprinkled with all sweet nectars. And all of a sudden, that can generate the demonic realm. And all of a sudden, I saw huge, the golden winged bird, the Garuda. And then I had this mind. I used a bow and arrow and shot it against the Garuda. And then I reminded myself that, hey, I am about to make offering to the Garuda. How come now I'm holding the bow and arrow and about to shoot toward the Garuda and kill it? The Garuda was flying, and I became a very sharp arrow to be shot toward the Garuda. And yet I was about to make offering to it. So, but the demon, the Mara, continued to distract me, to influence me. And I became that sharp arrow being shot toward the Garuda. Then I would commit the crime of killing. So the Garuda, all the Yaksa and Raksasa and all the wandering ghosts and gods, and may they be sprinkled with sweet nectars. I was about to make offering to them, and yet I was about to kill it. So at that time, all of a sudden, I became very horrified. And what should have I done? What did I do? when after I already shot the arrow, and then I think that the Garuda, I thought that the Garuda caught the arrow with one of his claw, and then I shot another arrow, and then his other claw caught the other arrow. Was there a emblem, a national emblem, where the Garuda were holding two arrows on his claws? And I've seen that. Is that the U.S. emblem? So that's why I counter-visualize the Garuda to catch the arrows. So don't be affected, because you should know that they are just manifested, the illusions manifested by your own inner demons. And if you awaken, they're gone. So that's what it meant. So toward or up to the celestial demon or Mahaswara, use the four spiritual awakenings as the protection. This is real. In the spiritual cultivation, your radiant light was about to leave the Saha world that's about to reach the high realm. Then the demons would come, the Mahaswaras would come, the Maras would come to test you or to obstruct you. The same for Sakyamuni Buddha or Ishichoka. You have to use the clear, lucid awakenings to counter them. That's what it meant here. A fortune teller told a kid, I can be considered the great fortune teller like Kongming. I'm like the little Kongming. So anything that you want to tell? And the kid replied, how about my math homework? So he quickly broke the fortune telling's trick. The wife asked the husband, oh, that woman there is really beautiful. So, hey, what do you say? Between me and her, who's more beautiful? And the husband asked, do you want to hear the truth or lies? And the wife said, the truth. Of course, you're more beautiful. And how about lies? And the husband said, I didn't see anything. There are many words in this world. There are some truthful news and fake news and fake information and fake a lot of things. For human beings, it's like this. In order to be awakened, you have to use your lucid wisdom to observe. Use your own wisdom, especially the awakened wisdom, which means the wisdom that you are very clear and lucid to observe whether they are true or false. And you should just ignore them rather than being affected by them. Nowadays, the news are like that. You know, usually celebrating Chinese New Year, we often write the Chinese character wealth And where should you paste it on? So let me ask Tutan Siti. If you write the character wealth, where should you paste it on? Now let me test your brain. At the wealth corner. For the wealth rolling in, then it will not roll at the wealth corner. You must have seen this joke before. Did you? Yes. So you paste it on the wheel, then it would roll all the time. So it's let the wealth rolling in. You must have seen this joke, otherwise you would have not been able to answer it. Did you see the joke? No? I know you haven't. I was eating at the restaurant and there was a beautiful lady sitting next door and then hugged Xiaoming and said, "Husband, honey, do you think I'm beautiful today?" And Xiaoming's heart skipped a beat and, "Oh, is this the start of my romance? Oh yeah, you look beautiful, beautiful." And the lady said, "Well, then, hubby, I have things I have to go. I'm waiting for you at home, okay?" And as Xiaoming looking at her back, walking away, he's wiping off his drool. And at this time, the boss came with the bill and said, "Sir, your wife just spent 3,600. Are you paying together?" So see who's smarter. That beautiful lady is smarter. So sometimes, please don't jump into the setup that people create for you. And she was trying to set that up, like to frame you. And sometimes they have an agenda. So please be careful. You don't want to jump to it. Otherwise, you may have fall onto your face. There's a famous professor being invited to speak at the nudist camp. And just a few seconds even before the speech, he was wondering whether he should wear the suit. Would that be impolite to speak with the suit at the nudist camp when everybody nude? So he finally decided to just become one of them and took off everything and got on stage nude. And then when they opened the curtain, he was about to faint, that all the audience to wear suit to show their respect to the professor. They wear the evening suits and gowns. So at moments like this, you need to use your lucid and bright wisdom to observe, make decision, and protect yourself. So you should have asked the organizer or the host. Should I go to the stage nude or with a suit? And the audience, whether they would come listening nude or with clothes, so you can know ahead of time. So if you come prepared, then there would be no faults. Otherwise, it could be embarrassing.
Spider-Man
is single.
Bayman 也是 single. Superman 也是 single. 我现在知道为什么我会单身，因为
Now I know why I'm single, because I'm also a superhero.
真的，这个叫做什么？叫做比量，比较，比量。
So this is called pramana, comparison.
刚刚讲了，这牙医呀，我们这里有牙医的这个
dentist. We have a dentist guest here too. And many dentists would say, you would have cavities if you eat sugar, so please have less sugar. And the dentist told the kids, and after he finished seeing a kid that was so good, he said to the kid, here, give you a lollipop because you were so good at the dental chair. This is called contradiction. This is the last joke. From the Chinese New Year, the first day to the 15th day, I heard that if you ask your wife to kneel at the front door, then there would be wealth and nobility coming in. It's play of words of Chinese words. So it sounds like the wife is kneeling at the door. If you don't believe, you can try it. That's impossible. Usually, it's always the husbands who kneel. And husbands also sound the same, 富贵. So, Om Mani Padme Hum.
非常感谢法王圣尊莲生活佛精彩宝贵的法语开示。
We are very grateful to His Holiness Precious Dharma teaching. And in a moment there would be the empowerment for the Vishkambhin Bodhisattva. And during the empowerment, please form the mudra, visualize the deities, and recite the mantra. This ends the English interpretation today. Thank you very much.
"恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛为与会大众做除盖障菩萨法。 请吟诗组准备。请吟诗组准备。还没有接受灌顶的同门，请你们赶快过来接受灌顶，灌顶即将要结束了，请吟诗组准备。灌顶即将要结束了，还没有接受灌顶的同门，请你们赶快过来接受灌顶。还没有接受灌顶的同门，请你们赶快过来接受灌顶，灌顶即将要结束了。吟诗组请准备。 有没有接受灌顶的同们，请你们赶快过来接受灌顶，灌顶即将要结束了。让我们以最热烈的掌声，感谢法王圣尊莲生活佛慈悲赐受除盖藏菩萨法灌顶。顶礼坛城，做观想大礼拜，礼拜根本传承上师及十方三世一切诸佛。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，二拜诸菩萨。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，三拜诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，四平等一气受。恭送真佛宗创办人无上法王圣尊莲生活佛师母莲香上师仁波切及上师团与会大众虔诚合掌，唱诵莲花童子心咒。直播到此结束，非常感谢大家的收看，阿弥陀佛。We now conclude this live broadcast. Thank you for viewing. More 顶是在山庄大殿，请大家在山庄大殿那边摩顶。请遵照保安人员的安排来摩顶，谢谢大家的合作。